I didn't bring any water, so
You thirsty bitch.
we'll see. See how this goes.
Luke usually brings beverages and everything else he needs to get through an hour.
Only. Nice little branded bottle too.
Yeah, what is that? That's fancy.
Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Oh,
Nice.
those guys make second-class liquor.
Objectively untrue. Not that you've tried any of it.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah, I don't know
had
if we
it.
need to promote the brand. We probably shouldn't diminish the brand.
Yeah, send the checks, you fucks.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, maybe we withhold that endorsement for now. Good call,
Hey.
Ryan. I like
Yeah,
where
yeah,
that's
they
at.
gotta
We
earn
need to
that
endorse
with
it forward.
money, with cash money.
I need my end of year bonus, guys. Come on, let's.
I'm really rich.
Oh fuck.
Yep. So what's up? 2 weeks in a row with Luke.
Are you complaining?
I can't
No.
believe I missed it last week.
No, actually, let's see this. I haven't looked at the stats from last episode. Actually, that was one of... I put Luke's here in the title. And
And people
it's
are like, we better get on Twitch now.
it's one of the worst performing... Oh, we may not be streaming at all.
Right now.
I have no idea. I disabled it for the... yeah, we may just not be streaming this week.
Yeah, I don't see it online. But
Oh,
that's
well.
okay. I think I was the only one in the Twitch stream last week.
Yeah. We have had people popping in there, but
Yeah,
it's not been
I
the
was
most
surprised.
popular thing. Yeah, the Discord has been where it's at lately, which Luke also opts out of. But anyway, yeah, this was actually last episode where it was just me and Luke was one of the worst performing episodes in a while. So the people have voted.
Kick Luke out.
You know what
I'm not
else
even-
we didn't
not even
revisit?
sure how to react to that.
We didn't revisit this. People voted on their favorite orange beverage on the Discord.
Orange Crush for days.
Yeah, Orange Crush won. Derek on the wrong side of history
It's not even a
again.
comparison.
Dude, yeah, it's to my mind, it's not even
I'm more
close.
about the mimosas with the vodka added to the mimosa. But anyways.
Mhm.
Well, how do you feel about beer mimosas? Have you ever tried this kind of horrendous thing?
I have.
Probably. I don't need that, though.
Actually, I thought that's what a manmosa was. I thought it was Blue Moon or like Hefeweizen type beer with the other.
Yeah, mimosas is what we get Tom's dad blacked out on at Maryland, Michigan football games.
Oh, thankfully, I guess we don't have to do that this year.
I don't think we play them until 2028 with the Big 10 becoming like the Big 25,
Amazing.
26 teams or how many teams are in it now.
I think college sports are fucking stupid. Just go on. That's my hot take for today. Just a bunch of fucking children
Did you
playing
see
a worse version
The
of.
Saudis are potentially buying into NIL. In
I
college.
did see you posted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be really into
that
it
a-
when that happens.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
That's fucked. That's awesome.
They'll buy. Yeah, they're buying anything that isn't bolted down
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
the
you're
world.
good. I was shocked that that the entire like Kentucky whiskey industry isn't purchased by the Saudis already.
No, just very wealthy white men at this
Why
point.
couldn't the Orioles get Saudi owners?
Are you liking? Well, you don't even like baseball. Why are you
yeah.
encouraging this bullshit?
He wants our payroll to rival the Astros.
The Yankees, yeah. That's what they should be. Like, they could do everything they want in MLB, right? Like, there's just no salary cap, nothing. Like, they could come in and just
Yeah,
It's
guaranteed.
Well,
it
are
is
there-
guaranteed contracts, though. But yeah,
Are there laws in those leagues of foreign investment? Like, is there
I don't
any
know.
foreign investment in the
I
NFL,
don't-
MLB?
Nah, it's capitalism, baby.
I don't
Whatever
think so. Yeah.
color of money is always green, or whatever people say.
Maybe purple in Saudi Arabia. I don't really know. Or black. It's just like they just like give gallons of oil.
Yeah, yes, yeah. It's green and black there.
All right. Well, now that I managed to divert us there.
Yeah, I had
We
to
are
go
way
to,
off topic.
I had to go to a baseball game yesterday. Shannon's Sunday soccer team. Someone on that team works for the Orioles and organized a off-site with the whole soccer team. So I went to that, And it was one of those games where it had one really exciting moment, which most of them have zero. Like, I think you have to watch like 5 of them for anything to happen.
Yeah, that was a good game yesterday.
But they subbed on. Maybe I'll stick the landing on this segue. Actually, I don't think I can. But they loaded the bases and then subbed Jackson Holiday on. Is that his name? The child? He's like 20 years old or something.
I wasn't paying close of attention, but I guess he pinch hit there in that inning.
Yeah, so he was on the bench.
Yeah.
They load the bases. They're down by 2, and they sub on. I guess in that it's pinch hitting.
Those listeners that know anything about baseball, but we'll work on the nomenclature offline. But yeah.
So the Astros they put a new pitcher in, and then Jackson Holiday pinch hit against a fresh pitcher and batted in the winning run. Batted in 3 runs. And as he was stepping up to the plate, I could not believe that the coach opted to do that to this child. And likewise, I could not believe that Noni Madueke started today. after his social media faux pas.
What do you mean? He said it was an accident.
Sure.
He meant to post on his private account.
That doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that there was a lot of tension there. There was going to be a lot of pressure on Noni.
Yeah.
In that scenario.
Yeah, true. Yeah, pressure. The general fan base, like, I don't know. I don't know how people in England feel, but I can't imagine, like, people would care if you're like, yeah, I woke up in Burnley this morning and I wanted to throw myself off a cliff or get trampled by sheep.
They booed him every time he touched the ball.
What was his social media post exactly?
So he claims it was an accident. I guess he has a private social media account and then his public social media account on Instagram or whatever, and he posted an image that said everything about this place is shit, and it had his location as Wolverhampton. And then he removed it and said, sorry, you can't hold me accountable for this. It should have gone to my private account.
It's like Basuma sending out a Snapchat of him doing that fucking like laughing gas shit. Like, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen?
I didn't even see this. Yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's why he didn't play the last game. It's like,
oh, that's why he got suspended last game, was for using nitrous oxide.
He was suspended or just benched by the team?
Suspended. He wasn't even in the squad. Yeah.
Is that's a
Probably
performance enhancing drug?
I don't know. One of the few I haven't tried yet.
I was gonna say, Luke can talk all about non-performance enhancing drugs.
Not my thing. Like huffing balloons. Like helium even grosses me out. Like, I don't want my voice to sound like
that's what they give you before they like knock you out, right? In like anesthetic or whatever. Yeah, so I've had that a couple times. You've had it before, Luke. You blew your knee.
Yeah, I did have ACL surgery, but I didn't do it recreationally.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's just talk about the. Well, what did you guys have any thoughts about that Liverpool game we just watched? I guess that's probably
very straightforward.
Yeah,
like, you saw I thought Brentford had some good moments on the counter, but what was really impressive, I thought, that Liverpool in the past has not done as well. The retraction of the team into defensive posture was really fast. Like, they got numbers behind the ball when
crazy numbers behind.
Yeah, when there was a break on, which is what Brentford's looking for the whole game. Every single time they got 6 people behind the ball again, which was really impressive actually. Like, watching them do that, hadn't seen a Liverpool team do that under Klopp. Bodes well for them in terms of controlling games.
Yeah, there hasn't been a fall off as far as I can tell, with Liverpool with the transition.
Maybe that first half against Ipswich, right? But that's like the first game of the year. You kind of like take it off a little bit. But obviously coming back in that second half, I think they're going to be good.
Yeah, they look like they're right in the hunt for second place.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think a lot of people were really hoping there'd be some kind of step backward or I mean, me being one of them as a Chelsea fan, and just I guess a fan of competition in the PL. Like, I'd like to see City fall off a bit, Liverpool, Arsenal. Like, it would make things more interesting. But yeah, he's picked right up where Klopp left off, and they look pretty good.
The fall off's going to happen next year if it happens for him. With, like, you look down the middle of that team. Well, not down the middle, but a lot of key positions in that team.
Yeah, they're aging.
Yeah, a lot aging, and a lot of contracts are ending. I think
Yep.
Salah, Alexander-Arnold, and Van Dijk are all on the last year of their contract right now.
Yeah, I wonder if have they won anything? Did they win a cup last year? I don't think they did. They didn't win the FA Cup. They didn't win. No, they did. They won the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup, yeah.
So they opted to not. They had like a crazy offer from Saudi for Salah heading into last season. It was something crazy, like 300 million euros. Like, an absolutely insane, like, reload your whole team type money. And they opted to not take that. I wonder how history will look back on that. I mean, he's obviously still great. He scored a goal today. He has. I was talking with someone in the Discord about how he has, like, if you dig into the stats, he has statistically fallen off in areas, but he's so good that he's still just so potent. Like, in the last couple of seasons, he's taking players on less. He's less successful at take-ons, even when he does. He's taking less shots. He's looking for the pass more. He's less of a lethal finisher, but he's still world class as is. So it's like, even though we're starting to see age take effect, he's still great. But
his movement today was so good.
And
his finishing within 12 yards is probably not, like, outside of Haaland, but obviously Haaland kind of plays in a totally different kind of team. But his finishing in 12 yards from the goal is probably as good as anybody in the league, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming he didn't want to go to Saudi. I don't know if the team really had a decision to make.
No, I think he wants to go to Saudi.
I think he did.
Eventually.
I think he wanted to last year. I think he was pretty public about the fact that he wanted to go.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's just made the decision that it's more important to have him for continuity for a new season with a new manager, and then to rebuild after, right? Like, despite not getting a huge transfer fee, he's probably on $250,000 a week. Like, he's a huge on the wage bill. So getting him off the wage bill in a year, you could see as a win in a way, or as a financial boost for him. But
yeah, we've been like giving up to sell him now.
Yeah, the importance of this year, it's like the team needs continuity. Like, the team needs goals. So
and I think they knew Klopp was leaving heading into last season. He had told the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that did factor into the calculus there. But I thought Jota looked good in this one. I just want to say that, and he looked great and scored the previous weekend. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that Derek is a huge Jota fan. Yeah,
he almost had a second assist on that great bicycle kick. Yeah.
That was a wild thing to try. You saw it happening.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Yeah. And then Robertson almost finishes the back post, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good assist to Diaz today on the counter. That team still looks fucking fire on the counter. Like, in transition, so much pace. So yeah, good.
Yeah, just to throw some stats out there: Liverpool 2, Brentford 0, Salah with a goal, Diaz with a goal. 63% possession in favor of Liverpool on 2.65 expected goals versus 0.36 for Brentford. And I think that all, that maps to exactly what I observed in this. I don't think Brentford ever had a shot. And I think there's a lot of, like, turmoil on their side with, like, whatever the hell's going on with Toney.
Talk about Saudi, man. That dude's about to make a lot of money.
Yeah. And that's what he wants. And,
I kind of
like
it. It's disappointing for Brentford to lose him. Not financially, but you can kind of understand Ivan Toney wanting to do that. Like, I'm not such a hater on him. He's worked his ass off through the whole, English setup, from League One all the way to Premier League. He's at the end of, probably at the end of his career in a way. He could still play in a big team. But for someone who's worked their way up like that, go make some fucking money. He'll get killed on taxes if he ever moves back, but, kind of respect him for it.
He used his gambling losses off Sunday.
Maybe he can gamble in Saudi and not worry about it.
As a deduction,
Yeah, I mean that's basically how I feel. I like Toney. I like Toney the person. I've seen a lot of interviews with him, especially when he had that layoff for the gambling problem. He's clearly a very driven guy. He is, like you said, just been on a grind for his whole career. Was impactful when called on for England in the Euros, and he's due a payday, and he probably would have preferred to get it from an Arsenal or a Liverpool or a Tottenham, even. Although I don't know how big of a payday that is. But if he's got to go to Saudi to do that, he doesn't have that many years left in his career. So, interestingly, just while we're on that topic, did you want to say something to all of that before?
No, nothing.
No, okay.
I think he's a risk in the Premier League at $70 million. He's 31.
Yeah.
Is he? He's 31, right? 30, 31.
No, he's 29.
Okay, he's it's a little bit of a risk for what's happened in his career so far. So it's good for him, I think. Good for him.
He's 28.
Oh, he's only 28. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Better than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So. Anyway, interestingly, so it turns out he's injured, but after watching the Brighton match this weekend, I was surprised to not even see Evan Ferguson in the squad. I guess he's injured, but they also acquired a striker
that nobody knows his name.
Yeah,
but he's going to fucking score 15 goals.
Yeah, and so I guess the Evan Ferguson experiment at Brighton might be over, and one of the locations for him is in the event that Brentford sell Toney, they may pick up Evan Ferguson. That's a dude who I was me and everyone were really high on at the beginning of last season. He was just scoring for fun. I remember him bagging a goal from way outside of the box. He scored a hat trick, I think. I forget who it was against, and one of the goals was just outrageous. And I was like, man, this guy is crazy. He's going to be insane, and he just has really fizzled out.
Well, he's also 19. He's a new manager, right?
Yeah.
I think it's far too early to say he's total fizzle or totally out, but he's 19. It's you got to give him a little bit more time.
Probably was a 9-goal match against Wolves, probably, and then he at that age, to your point, he should be getting. It makes sense to go somewhere to get minutes because he's fairly entrenched behind Welbeck and João Pedro's playing Pedro. Great.
João Pedro looks really, really good.
Yeah, good player.
All right, let's talk about Chelsea Wolves. Luke, did you watch this?
I did.
I hope you watched this.
Yeah.
Good.
Really good result. I think that it follows a little bit of a trend that the Liverpool-Brentford game kind of showed, but I think despite we always talk about the two in comparison, I think it was a little like the Spurs game. It's kind of like a really good result and a good performance against not a great team. But yeah, it's a good game, fun game to watch.
Yeah, so this is the type of match that when we had much lesser manager last season, we would have lost regularly, and we did. We lost to them twice last season.
Particularly in the first half of the season, yeah.
Yeah, well, we lost in the first and second half of the season to them under Poch. But, this was... It looked I mean, we scored in like 2 minutes, and then it was very shaky for the rest of the first half. And then again in a very like the antithesis of Poch, whatever adjustments were made, which like nothing was visible to me other than we subbed Mudryk out. Who like maybe we should talk about that and put João Pedro on.
Neto on.
Right? Sorry, yeah, we were just talking about João Pedro Neto. Put him on. Looked significantly better in the second half. I thought Enzo Fernandez looked crazy in the second half. Caicedo went off with an injury. He was really poor in the first. I think he's lucky he wasn't responsible for... I blame him... Well, his turnover and Malo Gusto switching off on defense led to the first goal. And then he could have been responsible for... another 2 goals in the like he just was dwelling on the ball and getting dispossessed, and it was just not Moises Caicedo's day.
I thought the bigger problem in the first half and less so in the second was just the ability of Wolves to like take the ball and basically dribble through the midfield. I think that looks like the biggest weakness that the manager's going to have to figure out is ball carriers are going to have success versus Chelsea as it is right now, which you saw Gomez, or however you say his last name, saw him do that a couple times. So I think that was the biggest weakness in the first half, but they tightened it up, made it much harder to dribble through the midfield, which I thought was the biggest adjustment. And definitely Mudryk is just not at the level still.
Yeah,
you see a huge change with Neto coming on.
Yeah. He is... I mean, watching him, you see how physically gifted he is and how much flair there is to his game. Like he'll take someone on, and we saw that in the midweek game against whatever that Swiss team. What's their name? Servette or something like that.
Yeah, in the Conference League.
Yeah, in the Conference League. I mean, he would take on players with ease, and then it's just like the decision making after that is so bad. I mean, it's what's been said about him all along is that he's just physically unparalleled almost, but he just doesn't have a footballing brain. And I don't know. I mean, they seem committed to him. Enzo Maresca seems committed to him. He's starting. I think he started in the mid. Did he start the first game of the season? I think he did. I think he started all 3 matches so far.
I think that's coming to an end, and part of it I think was Maresca trying to give consistency to him and try it out, and he saw the result. We saw the result, and whether it's Neto or Nkuku, both of those have much more to offer out there than what he had.
That's also that's the position João Felix played for Barcelona, was off the left last season. So they have a lot of options there.
Well, the comparison between what's going on with Raheem Sterling and with a player like Mudryk, finances aside, because I think that has a lot to do with decision making around Sterling. You look at the quality between the Mudryk and a player like Sterling, and it seems like nonsensical that Mudryk would start the season and Sterling wouldn't even be in the squad.
True,
but I think a lot of factors going into that.
Yeah. So this match was 6 to Chelsea, 2 to Wolverhampton. We didn't mention that earlier.
2-2 at halftime.
2-2 at halftime, and then Chelsea just really came. And Toney Madueke, he scored a hat trick in 14 minutes
so
or
good
something.
Palmer looks so good in number 10. That finish.
Well, and that pairing, right?
Yeah.
Is really what we saw cooking today. And there's obviously some ambiguity around what that front four should look like, and I think those two kind of cemented themselves in those positions today. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Brian feels when Madueke outscores Nico Jackson this season.
Dude, Nico Jackson was really good in this match. Like, really good. His, like, flick-on passes were phenomenal. He scored the opening goal. His forward play to lay that pass off to Palmer for Palmer's goal was really good.
Yeah, really good.
He drops deep really well. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was the thought I kept having is like I am virtually certain that Chelsea are going to sign Osimhen this week, and I just don't even care. I think that this is fine. I mean, we looked lethal once Jackson came off, and then Nkunku and Felix came on. Like, the depth on this team is crazy. Like, watching the subs come on, it's fucking mind blowing.
Particularly
and Mark
in attacking
Hugh,
areas. Particularly in attacking areas.
Yeah, and Mark Hugh was great. Like he's always really good. The dude runs his boots off. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this team needs Osimhen, but
yeah,
we may
I
end
think
up with him.
The struggles as Chelsea goes through the season is really more now about the back four and the solidity of the midfield, right? That ability of good ball carrying midfielders, like you saw it a little bit with that Rodgers player against Aston Villa, for Aston Villa against Arsenal. Like players like that are going to have success versus the Chelsea midfield, and then the center back pairing I still think isn't set, but the attacking power that team has that Chelsea has right now is really phenomenal. In terms of whatever 25 players fucking the manager keeps talking about he's working with. There's a lot of attacking flair in that team.
Yeah. The only other thought I had is weird that we've seen some like tactical tweaking so far. Against City, they played more of a traditional back I guess back four.
Yeah, with
against
more of a
City.
double pivot. Yeah.
Yeah, and in this one they had Gusto inverting into the middle, and that I like Gusto he hasn't yet taken to that role. And I thought that was interesting because Cucurella is well suited for that role. And in the match against Servette, they had Renato Vega on the left, and they had him doing the inverted role. They had Disasi playing the, I guess staying on the right of the back three once Renato Vega inverted. And in this one, yeah, Gusto stepped into the middle, and he just switched off on where he should be positionally when they don't have the ball, and they got exposed for Wolves' first goal. I think it was their first goal. It was also great play by Nori for that goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gusto was just not where he was supposed to be, and I just because we know Cucurella can play that, but maybe it's just that Gusto, like the assessment has been such that Gusto is better suited inverting, even though he doesn't totally understand that position yet, versus being the right side of a back three in possession. Like maybe he's just, and I could buy that. Like just the profile of player isn't right for that. But
yeah, that was tricky because Madueke wants that width out there too, and doesn't necessarily want the overlap. He wants to just take it and drive. So having somebody like Gusto who can also do that is a little bit superfluous in that scenario. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
It isolated Madueke against the outside backs, right? That's what was really successful for Madueke. He was almost always one-on-one, if not up numbers with Cole Palmer coming to help. What blew me away about how poor Wolves were in the second half, they went in the second half with both Cucurella and Gusto on yellow cards. Yeah. All I would have done in the whole, isolate Gusto and Cucurella in wide areas and drive. And not once in the second half did Wolves do that.
Yeah, I think on was it the Discord or maybe Derek texted me? I think it was Derek and said, hopefully Gusto remembers he's on a yellow card this time. Something like that. Was that you, Derek?
No.
They looked
Who said
exposed.
that?
Like, they looked like there could have been another yellow card in the game, but
Yeah.
Wolves were just not good enough to take advantage of that, and they really fucking fell apart after that third goal.
Yeah. I loved it though. I thought Chelsea, I mean, for once the commentators at halftime I thought had it right. I forget the dudes, like Robbie. They're both Robbie. It's like Robbie and Robbie, but
Robbie Earl.
yeah, he called it out. He was like, this isn't the same Chelsea, like they've been exposed, but like I see the patterns and they look good. They're taking to the system. He said something like that, and then they came out the second half and just fucking beat the bricks off of Wolves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited. I am excited to watch. And I wasn't. And I revisited the stats, and Luke was like thoroughly wrong about his analysis of Chelsea.
Still, no,
against,
we can get
Man
into
City.
it. You're fucking out of your mind.
Like uniformly wrong.
I don't give a shit about your stats.
Doesn't exist in the same reality as the rest of us type stuff.
Don't give a shit about your stats still.
But Chelsea looked good against City despite the scoreline, and they looked great today, especially in the second half. So I'm excited about the season.
Cole Palmer being in the middle is I think it's just a much higher, just a way untapped potential in the team. I think like having Enzo that far up the pitch is never going to help them. I think Cole Palmer getting the ball on the half turn is going to be where the team succeeds. I will also say on Wolves, Toney, that center back that they replaced Max Kilman with, looks like a fucking shed of a player. That dude is just huge. He's a huge lump, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he cannot play the ball. Like, he just cannot. It was like, especially because Toney is on that right side where Madueke is getting in, just like so poor. Toney is so poor.
Yeah.
Again, great performance, not taking anything away from Chelsea, but I just don't
I'm
think
just
Wolves are
glad
very
that
good.
Luke agreed with me when I said 12 months ago that Cole Palmer was the best center attacking mid on this roster. So,
Oh, there's no
I
doubt
have
about
nothing
it.
else to add here.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I mean, well, let's before we move on, let's just cover some of the drama around it. It's hard to, like, me and Derek. I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't know what Derek is. It's hard. We don't want to be a Chelsea podcast, but I don't think Luke would stand for
two
it.
assholes wearing blue. And Luke.
Well, there's a particular person on the podcast who loves to monologue Chelsea, and we all listen. We listen.
But there is. I mean, everybody is talking about Chelsea because of how insane the running of the club has been. So just a quick recap of what's happened this week. So there was the drama around Sterling last week, where right before the match he released a statement that his camp released a statement that they're confused about his future and they want clarity, etc. The consensus from even Chelsea haters that I saw this week was that was a really dumb thing for Sterling to do. And apparently, like, Maresca came out and said this, that like well before that match, like Thursday or Friday of that week, he told Sterling he wasn't in his plans anymore. So like Sterling knew and then still made that move. And so he's just hanging out. Same with Trevo, and they updated Pedro Neto had I think he wore Sterling's number today. And I think somebody else now has Trevo's number. So they just ripped them off the store. Which also, it's worth noting, Chelsea still doesn't have a front of shirt sponsor. So for all this FFP talk around them and how comfortable they are with their status with FFP, still no second season in a row that they've entered the season with no shirt sponsor. And if any kit needs a fucking giant logo on it, it is that disgusting kit that they have this season. I want a giant tire covering the whole thing.
Like Michelin Man.
Yeah, but whatever will cover as much real estate on that fucking abomination. Get that happening fast.
Well, you don't want to start printing the kits before you know who's on the roster for the season. So
yeah, fair enough.
Wait another couple weeks.
Well, I think the Sterling thing is interesting, right? Like, I think the biggest risk for Chelsea, the bet that I see them making is that they see the inflationary kind of market right now, so they're willing to take bets on players, hold them in the squad, or have a huge squad because transfer fees just keep getting up and up, right? I think the risk with Sterling is that because he's on such big wages and will demand such a big transfer fee, or at least some large-ish transfer fee, there's a lot of financial risk if Sterling says, no, I'm going to stay here and keep making £300 a week.
Yeah.
Like, there is a good amount of risk there, and there's not another, like, very few clubs in the world could take a Sterling wage bill right now.
Yeah. The flip side, so the bet that Chelsea is making is that Sterling wants to play because there's a turnover with the England coach now, and he wants to get back into that squad. And if Chelsea say we're just not going to play you, Sterling may take a pay cut and go somewhere where he'll get played. So
we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of. This is the last week of the transfer window, so hopefully the circus will stop by Friday.
They've got some like seriously Adderall fueled fucking transfer workers right now, just like
yeah, pretty insane. But they also moved Lukaku, so that's official. It's a 30 plus 15 deal. Which is fucking crazy that they were able to get that. Napoli insisted that they were only going to table a offer of 25 million euros. So yeah, the big names that they still need to move on now at this point are Sterling, Petrovic, Kepa, who I guess might be going to Bournemouth, Chilwell, Chalobah. They're trying to move Disasi. And Chukwuemeka. Those are the big names that they're trying to move. And Broya. So, yeah.
Honestly,
goal.
30 million for Lukaku, if they're trying to get 30 million for Broya, kind of sounds like reasonable in a way. Because Broya hasn't really done shit. He's young, right? So, some credit there. But Lukaku is going to give you 15 goals a season, Serie A, right?
Yeah.
What is Broya going to give you? Nobody knows. So 30 mil for something like that is a crazy thing.
Yeah. Yep. And then I have this. The Chelsea have spent £204 million in fixed fees this summer. They have sold players for £148 million. They're targeting a zero net spend for the summer. And I think they're going to do it. I think
selling.
after what?
Get selling.
Yeah, I think after it's all said and done, they'll make it.
Well, to Luke's point, right? Like they waited on Lukaku and they got the optimal value in my opinion. And so I think that we're seeing that with Sterling and a couple other players, and we're going to see that play out the next couple weeks as teams feel more desperate to buy.
Well, it's this week, right? When's the end of the transfer window?
Okay, yeah. That I don't know.
I think it's this Friday.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. It'll be interesting. There's a lot of clubs with a lot of players are going to move in the next 4 to 5 days. It'll be kind of exciting into the transfer fee, not just for Chelsea but for the whole league.
It's like 5 days left. Yeah, we're gonna have to get cooking.
Yeah, pretty wild. Luke called this a couple weeks ago with all the tournaments this summer. It was a slow start to the transfer window, and then the floodgates opened. Do you want to talk about Tottenham?
Sure. Yeah, I think similar to the Chelsea-Wolves game. Good performance, lots of goals against kind of a subpar team. Yeah,
do you think Everton will finally get relegated?
Yes.
You do?
It depends on what they do in the next couple days. It really, like, if they can get a couple players in. The problem with the club is that it's for sale, so the current owner is not investing, and they're so tight on PSR anyway. It's just if they get relegated and have to play in their new stadium in the championship next year, that will be terrible for them, but also slightly hilarious. I don't know. It's hard to say. You think that Sean Dyche, when the transfer window closes, he'll galvanize the team a little bit and they'll get a boost from kind of not having so much discourse around who they need, and that's really what Sean Dyche is good at, saying it's us, let's fucking go and do it. We'll really see when Everton start to play the newly promoted teams where they are, I think.
They are also probably, or at least the rumor is that they're going to get another points deduction this season, that's in the works for PSR violations. So
they should just force out the owner at this point. Like, just fucking move a sale. Get it over with. Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, they looked bad in this one. And I mean, Tottenham had really clinical finishing. It's 4 goals on 6 big chances. I guess it could have been a little better, but 13 total shots for Tottenham. I don't know. This Everton, they were really poor in their first match too, right?
They have not looked good. I think coming out of a really disappointing result against Leicester, which, as a fan, I'm kind of willing to be put to the side. It's the first game of the year in a really hot environment for a newly promoted team. The difference was getting 2 goals up. They could control the match. Yeah. And you actually saw the potential of a Tottenham team to do that, but it's really about getting more than 1 goal up because they're always going to be vulnerable at 1-0. So getting a second goal was pretty much the whole game. Once that happened, there's a little flurry of corners at the end of the first half, but at 2-0 they were pretty much clear and dusted and they controlled the game.
It could be an interesting
go Derek, sorry.
I was just going to say it could be an interesting relegation battle between Everton and Leicester in particular if they don't take a points deduction. If they take a points deduction, I think they're toast.
Yeah, my pick to stay up was Ipswich, and I think it's probably going to be Leicester, if anyone. They look a lot better than I thought they were. There was a lot of dramatics around their club, and
Steve Cooper's a good manager, right? Like, you put someone like that who has experience keeping a team up, and Leicester's not a small club. They get good revenues from King Power. They have good kind of mojo in the team, if that makes any sense. But
they get a stone cold assassin up top.
Yeah, dude, drinking Red Bull, fucking killing it.
Yeah.
I think
reminding the Tottenham fans of the scoreboard, the one that counts.
Yeah. So I think the good thing, something I was really excited with Spurs was Odegaard, the new signing from Burnley, 19-year-old, looked fucking good. Like, he looks tricky, he looks exciting, a little like Madueke, like willing to take people on, do some tricks, which we don't necessarily have in the team. So that was really, really exciting to see. Solanke was hurt for the game, so getting 4 goals is huge.
Yeah.
Dude, Sonny is
How
good,
bad
man.
is his injury? I saw that they announced he was injured. Do you know?
I think it's just a day-by-day thing. It's like basically an inflammation issue now. Like, once swelling goes down, he's good to go. There's no ligament damage. I think he just turned the ankle and got treaded on or something like that. So it should be pretty minimal.
What about, I'm looking at your bench. Yeah, Bentancur. He went off with a concussion in the previous game?
Against Leicester. Right? Yeah, he had like a super swollen side of his face, but should be back soon. He didn't have a terrible concussion or anything. I think it's more just procedures.
That's got to be tough to diagnose because of how low his baseline is to begin with.
Well, he tore his ACL at Leicester, I think, so he should just not play at King Power ever again.
Yeah, that's definitely says some.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough go of it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. It's pretty standard result. You'd expect it. And again, Everton are not good.
Yeah.
We have Newcastle and then Arsenal, so that'll be the test of really where the team is.
Yeah, I'm surprised how. So Newcastle have been linked with Toney pretty heavily, and I imagine that is now off after this week, because it wasn't just Toney was the most prolific scorer for Chelsea in preseason, and then didn't start the opening match, played in the Euro fixture and scored a hat-trick today. I just can't. I mean, who knows with these owners, but I can't imagine they would sell him at this point.
No,
but who knows?
Depends on the bid, I think.
I think Maresca was told you have to figure out who the 25 or whatever many players are he's rolling with, right? And he chose Madueke. They probably stuck him with Mudryk. He probably didn't have a choice, and they probably he said I don't need Sterling here, so
Yep. Yeah, so anyway, Newcastle have not looked where I was going with that. They've not looked as good as I thought they might. It's early, but what I've seen of them so far has not been. I thought that they would just have a little more teeth to them
rather
out the
than
gate
lose a game
season.
like they did today.
They drew, right?
Well,
they drew,
sure.
yeah.
That's what the Saudi owners care about, and that's what they paid the refs, I guess, to do. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, fair enough.
What the actual fuck? I mean, I don't know. I try to discount it when Ryan starts talking about match fixing in the Copa, but I mean, I would believe it. I mean, I don't know who the fuck, what these guys are watching to train for this stuff, and then they're showing the training guide, and it's basically a stick figure with shaded body parts. Why don't you just take a photo of an actual fucking soccer player and mock it up with here's where the shoulder begins. This is we've studied human physiology for eons, and this is what we've come up with is a stick figure with some green and red on his arm and shoulder.
There is no what's it called? There's no Photoshop skills at the PFA.
No budget for it.
Roblox has a better VIR system than the Premier League now. I mean, it's I don't. What are we doing?
You're talking about that Bournemouth disallowed goal.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
So yeah, one.
I know Derek
Bournemouth,
did,
Newcastle.
based on this unhinged rant. Apparently he saw it and then he went to the rule book and didn't like what he saw there either.
I actually was watching some of that. I usually don't watch much of Peacock's post-match stuff, but I listened to the interview, and then they had found the page in the rule book where it shows where the shoulder ends and the arm begins.
I missed that. Okay.
I don't know why.
I was I was who is this content for? I'm pretty sure he's talking about the rule book, but why did he look at the rule book?
It wasn't my first choice, and once I saw it looked like a fifth grader drew a person and then shaded it with crayon. It was what? This is our training guide, huh? All right, got it.
Newcastle haven't looked quite as good. It feels like they need another cycle with that team to really progress.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a new manager. I tend to be a little bit more on the Eddie Howe apologist side, but I think that the team just needs a new cycle essentially to really make the next jump if they're going to do that. I also think Bournemouth are a good team. Areola, is that the manager's name for Bournemouth?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a fucking good manager actually. The way that team plays, they have really progressive wingers. They're dangerous even after moving Solanke on. The team looks good. It's very organized with really progressive passing. So I at Bournemouth, a tie is the worst result early in the season. No, but you'd expect Newcastle to do a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newcastle didn't have it doesn't have the depth, and they probably need to resolve the Trippier situation if he's not going to be starting, especially. But
yep.
Well, I think Newcastle is really hamstrung by PSR, right? If they could, they go. If this was 2005 or 2010, whatever, they'd be spending oodles of money. But they've been a little bit more, restricted.
They're not happy about
other than
it.
Sub clubs, but I think that they'll turn. That team will turn into a juggernaut 5 years down the line, no doubt.
Yeah, what good is oil if you can't convert it into soccer players in the Premier League?
Yeah, and there's only so much they can charge those mouth breather Geordies up there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get some hate for that statement. The Geordies are a proud group.
I don't know anything about Geordies, so.
Yeah. Well, they to put it in perspective, they in the UK the equivalent of Jersey Shore is filmed in Newcastle, and it's called Geordie Shore or something like that. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, so that's the level of trash here.
Yeah, six of them sink in a yacht. Nobody loses much.
I'm just like throwing shots at. I actually like Newcastle, and I think their fan base is really cool. I'm just taking shots for no good reason, but
as someone from New Jersey, I quite appreciate that level of garbage. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Derek. You and Derek, both from Jersey.
Yeah, since I found out the other day, only one of us was an uppity person that went to a private school in New Jersey, which is a whole nother level.
Oh, you only just found that out, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that explains some of this behavior and personality.
The woman I dated before.
I don't know if that would uppity is not necessarily the way I would describe myself, but I'll take it.
You're not. That's why when you said you went to a private school in New Jersey, no less. I was like, A, we have great public schools, and B, like, what the fuck were you doing there?
Private all boys school, baby.
The woman. All right. The woman I dated before Shannon, she went to middle school and high school at a private school in Jersey, and I
remember that coming up.
Yeah, I went to her high school reunion, and it looked like fucking Hogwarts. It was crazy. It absolutely blew my mind, and they recruit around the world for their sports teams, and they had their men's soccer team playing the public school local team that weekend, and we watched it, and they beat them like 15-0 or something.
What do you think this was, like Don Bosco or something?
It was.
Yeah,
wait, what?
Don Bosco. Don Bosco is an all-boys school. St. Benedict's Prep is an all-boys school.
True. Yeah, So
I don't remember what the school was, but they.
I definitely was a part of some of those games, like private prep school destroying the public school in town.
Dude.
Loved it.
This is a co-ed private school?
Yeah, right? Co-ed private school. And they told me that they were recruiting in Brazil, and they owned real estate for a radius around the school, and these foreign prodigies that they were bringing in would then get to stay in those buildings.
Yeah.
And they asked if I wanted to donate to them, and I was like, no, I'm going to donate to this public school. I don't think they have a soccer ball to kick around based on what I'm seeing.
They've got nails coming out of the field.
Anyway, there's money in Jersey. There is money in that place. But
and in Newcastle.
Is there?
Well,
yeah, I guess Saudi money. Anyway, the other two matches that I thought were of significance were the Arsenal-Villa game, which Arsenal I felt just completely controlled this one. Villa had a couple really good chances. Watkins missed an absolute
two, really.
Yeah, really two, but one in particular was how the hell did he not put that in the back of the net? But yeah, Arsenal just get it done. 2-0. It could have been I felt that Arsenal just fully controlled this game. I don't know if you.
No, it's what we talked about last season, right? There's just so many of these games where they're in cruise control and it looks nonchalant, and they're playing within Arteta's system, and there's just, they might give up a couple chances, but the rest just look so under control. And you just, they're not, they're going to put one away. And again, it's Aston Villa is a great team, so it'd be interesting to see. I think this sets them up well for matchups with the other top teams, right? To see what they can do against City, Chelsea, Tottenham, etc.
November 9th, Chelsea plays Arsenal. That'll be that'll be fun.
Well, I think the difference with Arsenal, like maybe endish of last year, and it seems like it's coming into this year, and I actually think that this is something Man City has kind of always shown, is they're willing. Arsenal are now willing to accept pressure. Like, they're willing to say, we'll go through transitions in the game where we are defending, and we'll be okay. Like, they're really comfortable in their shape. Again, I think that's really what Man City maybe has done better than anybody, is even when they're defending, they're confident. And you see, like, that Rodgers player, I thought, like, Morgan Rodgers, I can't remember his first name, he, like, had some incredible runs with the ball for Villa. Like, some really, really good midfield breaking runs. But again, like, outside of giving up 2 chances that I think Watkins scores 9 times out of 10 any other day, Arsenal were in control of large parts of the game. It was that team is good. I think they're better than last year. I think that they're going to be they're going to be right up there with City this year, depending on what the motivation level for City is.
Raya made an unbelievable save.
Yeah. Off his ass.
Yeah.
That guy's got glutes. That
guy is. I mean, that was a smart move to pull him in. He is really good. I think he got the PL keeper of the season. I think he was the
he got
goalie
the golden glove. He got the golden glove.
You know what this got me thinking about
16
is
clean sheets.
How the hell was Ramsdale still on the bench for this team?
They haven't been able to move him on. I'm sure they'd love to, but
well, I think they also can't find a replacement that they feel comfortable with too. Like I don't know. You could go to Chelsea. They have like 4 to 20 different goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Like you could.
I'll give you 2 for 1.
Yeah, right. So it's not like there aren't out there. I just don't think that they can, 1, move Ramsdale on, and 2, know who to bring in. After.
Yeah, it looks like they rejected anything other than a loan, but I doubt people want to take him as a loan. So.
Yeah. And then we have the Man United Brighton match. This was fun. This was.
That's what you want to see.
Derek's favorite punching bag.
Yeah.
Just shit on a shit pile when there's already too much shit in the shit pile. You fucking love to see it. I think my comment on Discord that encapsulated this was like, anyone subbing on Anthony at this point should be investigated for match fixing.
That's like your go-to. You're doing something stupid, you're fixing fucking matches, you fucks.
Right, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it gets more egregious than that, but,
Yeah.
How dare I say this about the next England manager?
Yeah. Really weird substitutions, I felt. Mason Mount looked really bad. Mason Mount was bad to the point that he was subbed at half.
Yeah, that's a good call out. Yeah,
brought Xerxes in. No refund for Mason Mount. You no take backs. You're stuck with him. And the subs from just nothing worked in terms of how this game was managed. Like, their best defender for me on the day was Harry Maguire, and I wouldn't say that if I didn't think it was true. Like, I'd say anything before I would say that. But I felt he was their best defender. And he was subbed off for De Ligt because they just spent money on him, and he's Dutch. And Ten Hag is committed to pulling every Dutch player he possibly can over to this team. And yeah, I think that it was him who completely lost his man for the final goal, the João Pedro goal. I think that was his man to mark, and it cost them. It cost them the point. So
yeah, I don't know
2 points.
I don't know what the fuck he's thinking, making a change like that at that point in the game. Like, keep the structure of the team, right? Like,
yeah.
Don't change that. Bring in De Ligt later, like in another game. Like it's not like there's not going to be an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are you bringing off? What Lissandro and him played pretty well together, and I kind of like Lissandro Martinez and Maguire. Like they kind of like, there's a kind of dichotomy to them that I think actually does complement each other when they're in form. But like it's just like De Ligt hasn't played it all. Why would you bring him on for the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes of the game? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And
unless
then
there's an injury.
Yanked Fernandez for McTominay, who was listless, and Garnacho was terrible. Rashford wasn't great. Garnacho was even worse. And yeah, this team deserves any bad thing that can happen to anyone in the world. I hope happens to Man United, and yeah, I just hope this keeps up. Let's look at these stats. I'm curious. United allow 14 shots. There was, like, toward the end of last season, do you remember United was letting, like, 30 shots a game or something? Like, it was insane. So I guess there has been some cleaning up of that, but...
Well, I think Casemiro is a lot fitter than he was last year.
Yeah, Casemiro, that is the one thing. Like, I thought he was cooked. I thought it was career over for him, but he has looked good this season thus far.
Yeah, I think that their midfield is just, like terrible. Like, yeah, Casemiro playing better. He's still not that mobile, though. He's fitter, so he's getting around the pitch a little easier. But it's so easy to play through that midfield. It's just every time you can see a team scoring.
Yeah, I don't know that he's the solution for potentially a top 6 team when you've got Xerxes on the bench or Eriksen, who is unused in this match somehow.
Well, Eriksen's cooked. That guy cannot get around the pitch anymore, man. Like he has no mobility left. He's a brilliant footballer, right? He's a magician of a midfielder, but like he just can't move.
It is crazy how fucked Man United are. Like, I don't know. They just have such this just aging squad. Like Johnny Evans was on the bench still. Like
he signed a new contract.
Yeah, I know. It is.
Yeah, you thought maybe it was like a new season, like want to see what you get out of Rashford, but he still just looks like a fucking ghost out there. That might be the most shocking part of it for me.
Yeah, he needs a move. I think Marcus Rashford would do with like some new environment. I don't know. He just looks so low in confidence.
When is Football Manager?
Should be Marseille with his buddy.
Early or mid-November. Yeah, if you want to play hard mode on Football Manager this season, take the reins at Man United. Jesus Christ.
I have absolutely no interest in ever playing Football Manager.
Yeah, that's not for you. That's for the real fans out there. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Man United hard mode. That's why you could learn a thing or two from Football Manager. You might have had better analysis of that Chelsea Man City
I just watch and have played at a high level. That's all. I don't need to look at Excel sheets and.
Oh, you say play at a high level. You realize I play soccer with you every Monday.
Derek has been dying to talk about whatever the fuck this is.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but.
So what did I do? Just not
Derek has said to me at least 5 times, we got to talk to Luke about his strategy at
his
6
tactics.
His tactics.
What tactics? I never say anything.
High-level tactics.
Yeah. Boot ball far away. Let me run and see if something happens.
Right,
To be fair, that's
Ryan,
a little.
What do you...
It's a little more Gabe than me, but. Yeah, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't play forward my whole life.
Yeah, Luke is
until
not
fucking Volo.
Yeah. Just some insight. Luke is not interested in your statistics if it includes passing completion percentage.
I played right back, right? my whole life, and I get to go. I'm like, well, I'll just play up top. Who gives a fuck?
Left striker is what he plays now. Yeah,
that always drove me nuts on that team when at halftime someone, I guess it was probably Luke, now that I'm thinking back, would be like, just bomb it down the field. Yeah, just.
And
For the record, I have never ever said that.
I'm really glad I worked 18 months to return from injury for this strategy.
Listen, some of us can play more than like 5 minutes at a time, Derek.
I was like, no, should I just go to the social league and play with Tom? No, I should go try and play with Luke because it'll be a little bit higher level and there'll be like some tactics and passing and stuff.
I can't imagine what that social league looks like. I bet your risk of injury is higher there.
I bet if I'm not playing, if I'm playing against Tom, and if I'm playing with Tom, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
is Tom a wild player?
Clumsy is the word.
Yeah,
like
clumsy.
With me, it's like I'm choosing violence. Like he's not choosing violence, but it happens. You know?
We were hanging out with Shannon's soccer team, and they were talking about how they were her Sunday team last night. And they were talking about how they were aghast at like some of the antics that other teams would play, like how they'd get worked up. And what they were saying, I can't even give you an example, but it seemed so low stakes for you to be like worked up over or like taken aback by this behavior. And I leaned into Shannon and I was like, have you ever considered having Derek sub for this team?
I don't think I've ever been invited.
And she said, no, I think it would keep them up at night if he did.
That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Charm City Soccer C level, really, they get up for it.
Dude, they're a D level.
Oh, there's a D for Charm City.
This sounds like
D
the team I should be playing on.
Yeah.
To be honest, at this stage.
I want to play on the D level of Charm City.
Yeah. It's either this or over 40 soon. I don't know.
Is that the league we played in that allowed slide tackling?
No.
Where did we play, Derek?
I don't know what that transitioned to. I think that transitioned to Charm City Social at some point.
Oh, okay.
I would
yeah.
love to slide tackle.
That's all me and Derek, like, in our 20s, like, the league that we were in, I think it was Charm City Social, that, like, if you were in the highest league level, then they allowed slide tackling. So there was, like, a B, and C, and if you opted for the A, then slide tackling was allowed back then.
Yeah, Charm City A, if you slide, you get a yellow.
Yeah, no, it was fully legal in this league, and Derek would take complete advantage of that. And we also had, it was co-ed. We also had we had women who like all of them played in college basically, and they were very willing to just nuke a dude. Like they were all like the best tacklers on the team were our women.
Good shit.
And slide tacklers especially,
yeah. They were just fucking badass. They'd just be trucking dudes, and it was a hack. Like how good the women were on our team was unfair. We won for like years in a row. It was crazy how good that team was. Yeah. Anyway, did you want to talk about pool? Is there any Yanks in the ranks content you want to? You were talking about Pulisic cooking yesterday.
Yeah, interestingly, I watched because it was on late Friday afternoon. I caught the Leeds game actually. I think Leeds looks Premier League ready. I think they're going to come back up.
Fuck that team.
Yeah, I mean it is a dumb surprise. Aronson scored in that one. Ampadu, Daniel James, a couple others look like they fit right in. So I think.
Oh, that's where Ampadu went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like fully control that midfield. So I think they're coming back up. But wanted to mention that since I don't catch a lot of those games, but it happened to be on.
I had really high hopes for Ampadu, and it just never worked out.
He looks good at the moment. I think he found the fit there. I think that's probably if they get promoted to the Premier League, he'll hang. But I think that's probably like the right level club for him. AC Milan, yeah, they opened the season, or there was a second game of the season, I guess, right? They lost to was it Parma? Anyways, the main takeaway there is their defense continues to look like shit, and Pulisic looks good. He's playing in the middle more. He opened his scoring campaign against them yesterday, so. Yeah, I don't know. He's looking good. Leao is happy to have him closer to him in the middle, which I think is a good sign.
Is Musa playing for AC Milan?
Yeah,
right now?
he started that one.
Cool.
I have to look at where he started at, but yeah, Musa's playing. He's getting minutes, which is good. But I don't know. That team just does not look like. Every time I watch them, they let in some stupid ass goals, and like you've got to basically be putting up clean sheets every week to win Serie A. They don't look capable of it.
What's the British British center midfielder who played for Chelsea?
Loftus-Cheek is there,
dude.
yeah.
He looked really good last year. It blew my mind that he did not get to play for the England men's national team. Like, you think about the level he's playing at, and then Gareth Southgate complains about not having whatever the fuck his name is.
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
Like you'd think that a player like that could fit into that position reasonably well. I don't know.
Loftus-Cheek is more like an attacking midfielder, interestingly enough. He's got like the build for it, but it's not the role that like he ever wanted to take on.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean,
he's really not a holder. Yeah.
England had options.
Yeah.
Southgate is just fucking brain dead.
Yeah, he's just an idiot sometimes.
Like, I watched the Palace game yesterday, and they lost, right? I'm pretty sure they lost.
2-0 they lost, I think.
Yeah. I thought they looked the better team, but a standout to me in that match for the part of it that I watched was Wharton.
Yeah, young
he's
player.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it like everybody talks about how good he is. This isn't like revolutionary what I'm saying, but he rode the bench for England. And like it's just nonsensical for him to complain that he didn't have Calvin Phillips when like Wharton's just hanging out.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. Good riddance to that fucking guy.
Dude,
yeah, the only other note on
next.
What's that?
He's going to manage Chelsea next.
You know what I thought about after, like, so Derek, we talked about how Poch is now going to ruin the U.S. national team last week and injure all of them. But it occurred to me that both Chelsea managers from last season are now coaching the U.S. team, like the women and men's
true.
team.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about that. We just pillaged the former Chelsea managers for the U.S. team. I doubt that Poch will find the immediate success that Emma Hayes has, but I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, they haven't even announced that yet, U.S. men's national team, right? Like
they can't because he's like technically still under contract with Chelsea.
And so it's like the payments after getting sacked, essentially.
Yeah, so I think it's like done, but they can't announce it until after this transfer window closes or something like that. There's some like date that they're waiting for, but yeah.
Yeah, the only other note I had with the game we didn't talk about was Fulham 2, Leicester 1. Anthony Robinson gets an assist in this one. Again, looked like the best player on the pitch.
I can't believe that dude hasn't gotten a move away.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Bottom line is he's shockingly underused, not playing for a top 6 team, I think, in the Prem at this point. But
I think statistically, far and away the best left back last season, if I remember right.
Yeah.
In the league, I think that's right for like most stats that matter for an up and down left back. He was the best.
Yeah, I think that it's not so in vogue right now to be an up and down left back. I think that's part of it, right?
True.
Like Fulham, like it's not a top 6 club, but they have top 10 aspirations. Like they're not a small club necessarily. No. Craven Cottage is small, but the club has a lot of history. But I just don't like what team. Maybe Manchester United. play up and down left backs, but Dallow's coming into the middle now. Like where does he go? I think that's the big question.
Liverpool does, right?
Yeah,
that was where his big link was
yeah,
Liverpool. Everybody
does,
thought he was going to go there.
Yeah.
Liverpool haven't really done anything in the transfer market this season.
No. Yeah, I think they're holding that money until they get all those big contracts gone. If Van Dijk, Salah, and hopefully not I would like Alexander-Arnold to stay there, but if those two players leave, that does open a bunch of transfer funds. Not even even if you don't think of the big transfer fee, all that salary will go to transfers eventually. We'll see, though. I would love Andy Robinson on a whole number of teams, though. He's good. He's fucking really fun.
Yeah, he
to
still
watch.
looks like he's fine. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what the logical place is. It's just, I more so the takeaway is just how fucking underutilized he is at Fulham at this point.
Yeah, fair. Well, did Fulham just bought Max Kilman? No. West Ham bought Max Kilman. They just bought Anderson from Crystal Palace. So that defense should get better. Fulham are a good team. I like watching Fulham. Kind of hot on them. I've always liked Fulham since Clint Dempsey played there.
Yeah.
Europa League 2008, scoring that goal against Juventus. I'll never forget that shit.
They still have to do something with. Sorry, I was trying to look something up while you were talking, but it's part of my. I think Chelsea still need to move David Datro Fofana on too. Dude,
we don't have
they got
time
a lot
to
of
talk
work
about
to
the
do.
fire sale. We'll just recap it.
Yeah.
It'll all be resolved in 5 days.
Tune
We'll
in
go
next
through all
week.
10 sales.
It's going to be crazy. Whatever happens this week is going to be insane. Yeah. Anthony Robinson's great. And what I was going to say is Fulham, I don't dislike them the way I dislike Leeds. I like Fulham too. Leeds could use a couple more demotions as far as I'm concerned. Fuck them.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
Crickets,
any other
guys.
topics? You guys good?
I don't have any other random shit for this
Luke,
week.
did you have anything on your list?
I don't write lists. No, fuck.
Yeah, it's real insight to the listeners here.
Yeah.
Now
All right.
I'm real excited for tomorrow. Now, Derek, you gonna be at soccer? I'm gonna fucking tread.
I'm
on
gonna
your
go.
feet.
I'm actually, it's Gabe's last day, so last game, so I'm gonna show up and go to the bar after, so I'll be there.
Cool, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hopefully this was helpful, insightful, or you got something from this. Come join us on the Discord. It's been very active lately. It's been a lot of fun. So I keep pumping that up, but it is it's been a lot of fun, and we call things out from it in the podcast. So appreciate all the banter in there. Like and subscribe. Leave reviews. Dislike. Like I said, I don't care. Give us feedback. That'd be cool. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next week. End of the transfer window, and a couple more games to discuss. So, thanks everyone.